Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 146 today, and we're back for two of the most contrasting games we'll probably ever get in an episode. Firstly, we play away to Haverford West, a side that looked like they're doing well in 8th place, but actually only 4 points off the bottom and 2 points off the relegation places. However, they are another one of those professional sides in the league who have generally invested over recent years, so we'll keep our eyes on them. We're kind of hoping Swansea Uni will have a bad year and go down. But after that, and besides the point, we are playing Manchester City at home in the Champions League. We put up a brilliant effort away from home against them, couldn't quite get the result. And we'll obviously keep an eye on TNS's progress too over in the Europa League group stages. We've got coefficient looks, we've got plenty of action from the Champions League and fixtures ourselves. So if you're looking forward to keeping up to date with everything, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Another big one coming tomorrow, a crucial decider to finish off the week in this series, before the second part of our big new Welsh experiment on Sunday. So please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on to stay up to date. We've got plenty of live streams at the back end of this week. We should, providing that one of them's on a good TV channel, have a Europa Conference or Europa League qualifier live stream watch along tonight. And then Wraith Rovers v Dunfermline tomorrow night. Goals galore, definitely in Scotland. And we're going to be watching that over on Twitch. You can find a link up there too. Please do come and give us a follow. It's much appreciated. But let's start today by having a look at our schedule, our results since the last episode. Because you were with me exactly a month ago, actually, as we lost 2-0 to PSG following a convincing win against TNS. We've squeezed loads of games into October since. We had the option to sort of delay a few due to the international break, so Linfield and Airbus in particular. We didn't do it. And actually, Linfield are probably regretting not doing it themselves because they lost 10-0 in the SPFL Trust Trophy. And bar having their first choice centre forward, they were so depleted that we just had an easy day against them. But let's start with the Aberystwyth match, a 5-0 win for our backup team. Matty Whittaker came in, he got 2. In fact, we did get to play a few of the first teamers in this one. Kresimir Loza was a rotation though, he managed to get a hat-trick. We followed it up with a 10-0 win against Linfield. They had so few of their first team available, it was ridiculous. We'd only actually lost about 6 or 7. A big upgrade on last year. Kane Walters got 4, Goulding got 3, and then Tom Jones 2, Mubarak Whelan 1. A 3-1 win against Airbus UK, 2 for Broadbent and 1 for Kai McDonald. We got a 2-0 win against TNS in the SPFL Trust Trophy, Lloyd Goulding with both of those. A 2-1 win against Colwyn Bay, who gave us a right scare at the end as well. Jones and Broadbent for us, largely a backup team, and Ian White got one back before hitting the woodwork and nearly getting an equaliser. Then a 1-0 defeat away at Manchester City, a fantastic effort, but Kamel Haddad, just to give you an idea of the quality, 30-year-old French winger, over 100 caps, a legend of the game. He scored the winning goal for the hosts. Back-to-back 5-0 wins followed it though. Away at Carmarthen, it was a Broadbent hat-trick including 2 penalties and 1 for Jones and McWilliams each. Game wrapped up after 20 minutes in truth. And then in the League Cup quarter-final, Kane Walters got 4 of them, with Gethin Davis adding a 5th, or in fact a 3rd as it was at that stage of the game. So against Haverfordwest today, we're going to have to rotate heavily. We want everyone fit for the City game at home, because it could be a chance for us to maybe nick a point. We've done it before against a few of the big sides. The big game though is the one in the next episode. Rijeka is going to be an absolute cracker. We've got Hearts at home in the SPFL Trust Trophy too, so we might be back very soon after this one. If we have a look at the group overall, Rijeka, as expected, have been whipping boys, and goal difference wise they've been battered. We've still got a level goal difference because we beat Rijeka by 3. 3-0 it was there, and then we lost 2-0 against PSG and 1-0 against City. So keeping that goal difference down could be absolutely crucial. We're definitely not getting to the last 16 in the Champions League. We're sort of at that sort of stumbling block, aren't we? We're a last 16 Europa League team and that's it. But it looks like if we can get a result against Rijeka in the next episode, we will be in Europe after Christmas yet again, which ticks the mantra every single time. Let's have a very quick look before we get into our game note at TNS. I'm afraid things not going quite so well for them. They are starting to claw their way back up the league now. You can see they've won, 3 of their last 5, and only losing against Cardiff, Met Uni and Barry, who are right up there. However, following their game against Cercle Bruges on the first day, they got battered in the Czech Republic by Boleslav, and then lost 3-0 away at Tottenham too. So we're not expecting much in a home game against Spurs. If they can get maybe 4 points off the last 2 games, they're probably guaranteed qualification. At the moment, all 3 of those level pegging on 3 points. So the 2 results against them are going to be crucial for our fellow Welsh European competitors. And as long as they get third, they're in the Europa Conference after Christmas. Second, not as important at all. Let's go and get into our first game of the day though, because it is an important one for us. We will have a brief look at the European coefficients between the 2 games. It's something we do regularly. But let's firstly get this one out of the way against Haverfordwest, where with a backup team, we should be able to get the result. And in fact, on this occasion, it's actually a bit more than a backup team. Because as well as the full 11 being out and rested, we've also had to leave out a couple of others. So you can see from the bench, the likes of Mackenzie and Gethin Davis both got a heavy match load. So we're probably 13 or 14 down from our first 11. The benefit, Srom's back, he's starting in midfield, he's just building his fitness up again. The rest of the team's a bit put together. We've got Wickens in goal, Morgan and Nenov the fullbacks with Matai and Whelan as centre-half. Whelan really progressing this season, getting into the team a bit more and hopefully on his way to superstardom. We've got McWilliams in the holding role, Pena and Srom in the middle. Pena will probably be off next summer. Since we've got Hunt in, he's basically become a backup player on big money that we shouldn't have signed. We should have been more patient. But if we can make 2 or 3 million on him next summer, it's a massive profit for a player that we will have spent, what, $500,000 on in wages over the course of the year. Tom Jones, the number 10, Loza and Broadbent up front. For the 3rd time in a row, we had it with Walters, we had it with Goulding. Now we're having it with Broadbent. Joined, was ranked just 2.5 star ability, clear 4th choice striker. Has come in, is now ranked 3 star in his position up front. Is playing excellently, brilliantly well. Got 10 out of 10 in both of his League Cup appearances. Got 8 goals in 6 starts in the league. And he's made a little bit of an impact off the bench in Europe. He's looked fantastic. He's now officially overtaken Kresimir Loza. And he's our 3rd best striker and our main substitute up there. So that's the backup lineup we've gone for today. It's a weaker team by our standards, but very strong in the league. Let's see if it can go and get the result. Haverfordwest could have a tough day at the office. And the warning was to close down our former youth player, which was Kai Owen. Peter Blackburn, another one of those in the middle. Remember him scoring for us when we were 15 to nick us a game against someone in the 91st minute. Might have even been to nick a point. But they've got a decent side and it does show that the league's improving. But Haverfordwest are going to be down there. What we really need is sides like them to survive and then a Swansea Uni to go down, because they were the letdown in Europe this year. If we can get rid of, say, Swansea Uni and then one of the semi-pro sides, keep all the professionals in the league, we could get close one year, bar Cardiff Met Uni, to having a fully professional league. And with the squad Cardiff Met Uni have got, theirs doesn't matter so much. As Loza gets the ball on the right-hand side to Nenov, into the back stick to Pena. Oh, we criticised him, but he nearly scored a cracker there. Can play with both feet and he's technically excellent. But that one thunders off the top of the crossbar. It's out for a goal kick to Haverfordwest. They survived the first 10 minutes. We've got a corner kick with Jones though. Into the back post. Binns heads away as far as Ludomir Srom. Back to fitness and looking good in there as he plays a 1-2 with Nenov on the right hand side. Back to Whelan. Turned 16 years of age now. The amount of football he's played is incredible. Came on against City last time as well, very late on. As Nenov gets it back to Srom. Into the front post. Tom Jones brings it down. The shot, albeit gave the keeper a chance, was excellently saved by Sirotto. 15 gone, still 0-0. But I don't know how on the chances we've had so far. Should be 2 or 3 already. As it's a throw on the left-hand side for Haverfordwest. Binns just nicks in ahead of his man, but the cross from Blackburn's pretty poor and George Wickens comes to gather. Touching 34 years of age now is Wickens. We're going to have to think about a replacement soon. Don't know if we've got one coming for our academy that's good enough, or if we just promote Pugh for a year, because they don't really play a huge amount. But we've got to keep Simancas on loan next year, otherwise we're going on a big goalkeeper hunt, or we'll certainly have some panic. As it's into the box, we nearly scored the own goal. Whelan tries to clear it with his left foot, ends up going back towards his own keeper, and George Wickens just gets a leg out in time. But a scary moment there. It's a corner kick into the front post. Whelan heads that one away comfortably. Broadbent will nick it. But half an hour gone. Haverfordwest haven't threatened, but we've given them their best chance of the match as Jones puts a free kick in for him from the left. Headed in by Alex Pena. The criticism, he's definitely heard us. One shot off the woodwork and now a goal. And he gives us the lead just before the half-time whistle. We are ahead away at Haverfordwest. They pull up a decent fight though. As there we are at the break, a very comfortable performance, not a comfortable result at the moment, and Whelan just shows if you leave it at 1-0, it's never completely safe. Coimbe winning again, looks like that top 6 are scrapping it out for 5 places. If we can get that 6th spot in Europe and get that 6 in every year, Barlow will go pro before long, and the rest of it is going to be absolutely fantastic in a few years. As Blackburn plays a 1-2 with Banks, Haverfordwest having their moments here, albeit they can't sustain them and they can't really threaten us. They are playing some nice football as Kai Owen goes right to Hall. Have they got enough up there to put the ball in the box? I don't think so. Back to Kai Owen again. He's going to lose it here. Pena nicks it. Releases Broadbent down the left. He's got a 2-on-1, but he's beaten them both for pace. And that is an absolutely fabulous finish. 2-0 on the hour mark. It's game over. We can start to think about subs. Youngsters like Jennings are going to get a run out. Let's go and do it. So, 3 changes made. Jennings on for Matai at centre-half. That's a pretty easy one. We've dropped Pena to the holding role because McWilliams had a poor game and quite often picks up yellow, so we need to keep him safe for now too. Bulkley and Davis on in the middle. The other man that's gone off is Ludomir Srom. Coming back from injury, played 30 in a cup game, played 60 in this one. We'll build him up gradually to full strength. Next league game, maybe he can then play the full 90. As Nedov gets it on the right-hand side. Early delivery to Tom Jones. What a header that is. 3-0 now. And that's got to be game over. Tom Jones in this backup team really starting to look $1 million. And considering he's the man who's probably going to break our league appearance record, I'd like him to be at full force in this competition. Maybe going to feature less in Europe and in some of the cups as he has before. But in the league, he can definitely still play a starring role as he comes over halfway again, surging past players, finds Broadbent down the left. I think the left fullback played him on. Back to Gwyn Morgan, chips it in towards Loza, header just over the bar. The keeper, probably beaten in truth, but thankfully for him, so was the woodwork. 10 minutes to go though, we've got another free kick and we're looking really dangerous. Getting Davis ball in, headed away by Jellyman. Found by Jones to Davis again. First one's blocked by Astley and Banks can bring it away via Blackburn. Big clearance, but only as far as Nenov. There's no striker up there. They're defending so deep late on in the game. And I guess they have been chasing the ball a lot, so it's probably a bit of fatigue. Pena overhits the pass out to Morgan, who just keeps it in play. Bulkley releases Davis again though, and it's been nicked by Haverfordwest, but they clear it, and it can't go past halfway because Pena's there unopposed. Jones gets it from Bulkley into Kresimir Loza, and it's a whisker wider than near posts. I don't think the keeper had a chance with that one, but it whistles into the side netting. 3-0 with 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Been a really good performance from Bangor City. And there is the full-time whistle. No shots for Haverfordwest, just that one scary moment where Whelan hit that ball backwards towards his own goal. Wiccan's covered for that. The rest of it, we were brilliant. Lowe's are not having a great season. We'll have a look at him later. But now, it's on to Manchester City. We'll be back in a moment for a much sterner test at home in the Champions League. We are back to face Manchester City, a big Champions League test. But I did promise very quickly I was going to show you the coefficient. Because actually, we could end up being a victim of our own success this year. Now that's because this Nation Club coefficient you see here, compared to the one for the individual clubs, is divided each time by the number of clubs that you have participating in Europe. Now this year, Wales has gone from 4 to 5. So our results in Europe, and TNS's now, only count for a fifth of the coefficient outcome rather than a quarter. And obviously, I know the other two got through a qualifying round, but Swansea Uni have been the big kick in the nuts for us here, really. They've been the ones that have knocked us backwards a bit. Because you can see this year, we're actually on course to be overtaken by Belgium and caught significantly by Russia. Now, we've gone up from 14th to 11th last year, and that would send us back to either 12th or 13th. Now, let me show you why 12th is so important. Because in the top 12, which we'll have next season for sure, we might not the year after, as well as having the two teams in Europe, we go straight into the playoff round in the Champions League. Just a nice thing for us. However, the Europa League, the team that finishes in third place in our league will go straight into the playoff rather than the third qualifying round. So that means there's no scope for defeat. Like Swansea Uni this year, they lost in the third qualifying round Europa League, then they lost in the playoff of the Europa Conference. They're in the playoff of the Europa League, you're guaranteed group stage football in one or the other. So that is a massive incentive. Also means we get a team into the third qualifier of the Europa Conference, which if it's someone like a Cardiff Met Uni or a Barry or even a Barlow we've seen this year, with the right draw, they can get through a round or two, and that can make a massive difference as well. I mean, the stage I'm really looking forward to getting to, in truth, is if we can get up to 6th place, because that's when we get our 6th team in Europe. 2 in the Champions League group stages, 1 in a league path. I mean, that would be heaven, but that is some way off. If we have a look at the coefficient points, we're just floating around the 30 mark. 6th place is 61 for the Bundesliga, and is a big jump down even there to Portugal. So that's probably not going to be attainable in this save. But if we can get 5 teams in there, if we can start getting more and more into the group stages or guaranteed European football, then that makes me a lot happier. I'll be a very happy man if we can manage that. So we'll talk a bit more about that moving forward. But for now, let's go and get into our Manchester City game. It is a big one for us. It is a big one in terms of the group. We need Rijeka to get battered by PSG. And we just want to keep the score down, keep the confidence flowing ahead of the next episode. Let's make the changes to what the assistant recommends, have a look at the 11, and we'll be back in a moment to run through it and head into the big game in the Champions League. I've got to say, the positives of us playing the backup team a lot in the domestic fixtures means that the likes of Kresimir Loza, despite having a poor season, are now wanted. I know we got him on a free, but still, if we can get face value for him after the 4 seasons he's had, it would be a fabulous deal because we've got 3 better strikers here now. In terms of our 11s for today, though, it's back to full strength. I don't think there's any survivors from the last match. So it's Simancas in goal, McDonald and Bektas the fullbacks with Kelly and Whittaker at centre-half, Lloyd, Reyes, Hunt and Bulkley in midfield, Bulkley with a slightly heavy match load, and Hunt and Reyes not really fit after recent injuries. So that's going to be an area we may risk getting overrun or have to make changes later down the line. But Gordon and Walters up front, a mix of youth and experience on the bench depending which stage the game's at. Let's go and get into it. It's going to be one hell of a test. But if we can repeat the result we had on the road, the 1-0 defeat, I'll snap your hand off for it now. Haddad, the legendary winger who scored in the first game, he is starting. Bellingham is the skipper and starting in his 30s now. Loads of world-class players that have come through as regens in recent years. And managed by Zinedine Zidane. It's not bad going, is it? We get to pit our wits against the best here. And after a pretty comfortable day at the office against Haverfordwest, this one should be an awful lot tougher. We're going to drop to our balanced mentality. We'll get into the first half. And the longer we can keep this score down, the better it is for Welsh football. Is it to throw on the right-hand side for Manchester City? 8 minutes on the clock, and we've been caught out wide there. We pushed 3 out to close them down, and they've got a 2-on-1. Toro picks it up into Silvio. Good clearance, Whittaker. Jordanescu crosses again, though. Back post to Alfaro. Nobody's there. It's a good header, Haddad. But it's straight at Simancas. If that was anywhere other than straight down his throat, that would have been 1-0. As the long ball forward's missed. Walters is in here. He's 1-on-1. The flag's not up. He dinks the keeper. What about that? What about that? Kane Walters running aimlessly from a long goal kick, as was Lloyd Gordon in fairness. We've been absolutely outplayed. And then from one long goal kick, the centre-half makes an error. And Kane Walters, and I said this in the last episode, didn't I, against PSG, as it's almost 1-1 already. I said this though, if we can soak up pressure and have one of those lucky days at the back, PSG lead Rijeka as well, good news for us. Despite what you might think about our team overall compared to City, we have got world-class attacking talent. Kyo Bulkley, a £40 million player, and Walters and Gordon, both perennial goal scorers. They're fantastic. They're brilliantly quick. They're composed in front of goal. And they've got the attribute to cause a threat. As Reyes gets it wide to McDonald, we're starting to feel with confidence here. If we can win at home to a Premier League side, in a league that's loaded, this could be lift-off. René Rocher with an own goal. Ball in from the right from McDonald. Gordon tried to get the shot away. Just bubbled around and deflected off everyone. But it crept its way over the line, and that's all that matters. This is ridiculous. Whittaker clears across away to Haddad. The French winger trying to do something about this. Gets it wide to Silvio on the right. His cross is blocked by McDonald. Get on the counter. Just hoof it. Why are you going backwards? We were scoring goals galore with the long ball. Simancas between the sticks just gives the ball away. And Toro can start a new wave of attack. Up to Alfaro. 2 in the middle there. Alfaro goes alone. Silvio's shot blocks off the line. There's bodies everywhere at the back for Bangor City. We've had 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals. You cannot ask for a lot more. What a ridiculous smash and grab this stands to be as Rocher heads another good chance wide. PSG go 2 up against Rijeka. I know the last few years we've had that one result in every group stage that's made a difference to us. Last year it was Atletico Madrid. The year before it was Lazio, wasn't it? And this year Manchester City are the ones that are getting beaten. But this is a Premier League side. We've had a lot of chat in the comments as Gordon's in from the Bulkley pass. Almost 3. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to explain this. We've had a lot of chat in the comments as PSG go 3 up and the corner comes in. about the state of the leagues not being loaded across Europe and whether that makes it easier for us to beat Bordeaux last year in the Europa League, to beat Atletico Madrid. But what's the argument for this one? Manchester City are in a loaded Premier League. They're always in the Champions League and they're littered with world-class talent. We kept them to 1 away from home, albeit they had about 100 chances. And I know this has been a smash and grab so far, but we're 2-0 up at half-time. Utterly ridiculous and unexplainable. We're approaching the hour mark. PSG have gone 4 up, but it could rule Rijeka out before we even play them, as Reyes crosses cleared away. Goes as far as Whittaker. And of course, we've got to talk about that coefficient. We said it earlier on. If we can add another point, it makes things even better. As Kane Walters has just made it 3-0. Even I am speechless at this one. I thought last year we'd beat Bordeaux. We had a very good side in comparison to them. This is a Man City team that are brilliant in English football, with players on 300 grand a week, all real players, all in their prime. And we are rinsing them on the counter. Yes, it's been that day where we've taken every chance, we've been ruthless, we've had every bit of luck on the counter. 4 shots on target, 3 goals, expected goals only 1. But City's is only 1. City shots have only had 4 on target. This has not been domination from the citizens. And I can't quite explain how it's happening, but it certainly deserves to be on the balance of play, even if not by 3 goals. Hunt is going to be replaced in the middle by, I think, Pena, because I want to have a little bit more technical quality and keep the ball in there. And partly because Reyes will have to come off soon as well, so I want to keep everyone fresh. 15 minutes to go. Lloyd is on a yellow card now. McWilliams on for him. Let's see if we can hold on, because this is looking like our most famous night ever. I just don't know what to say. I'm left speechless by it. It's a stunning performance. Kyo Bulkley will now get a rest for Tom Jones. And this could be the biggest night in my 15.5 years in charge here. We're beating Manchester City, an English giant in a loaded English Premier League, by 3-0 in the Champions League group stages. Utterly ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Bangor City 3, Manchester City 0. Do your best to explain that one, because for whatever we said about the other games and beaten sides in Europe, that is by far the best result of the series. Absolutely incredible. Let's have a look at the schedule for when we'll be back. So just to put this into perspective, 5-star side, top 2 the last 4 years in the Premier League, including a title. If we show you the other competitions, they won the Champions League 2 seasons ago and 3 seasons ago. They've won the League Cup, the Community Shield in the last 5 years too. They are perennial winners. I mean, Silvio, their star player, is just about the best player in world football at the moment. He's on $500,000 a week. He's 28 years of age. He's a Brazilian legend. I mean, his attributes are up there with your Rivaldo's, Ronaldo's, Ronaldinho level. That's how good he is. And he's somehow come up against Bangor City and lost 3-0. I can't explain it. It was almost a first 11, and it's an incredible performance. Well done, Bangor City. Let's have a look at the schedule, because I think the PSG game we're going to get beat. They're the best side in Europe still at the moment. Equally, that's not important to us. If we get a result against Rijeka, we're guaranteed qualification. We'll have played Hearts in the SPFL Trust Trophy too, so we're going to show Rijeka away and then Cardiff Met Uni at home, because at the moment, they're a side in the Welsh Premier League that are at the cusp of possibly being able to challenge us. So that'll be the next episode. If you did enjoy this one, please do put a thumbs up on it. Someone in the comments, please let me know how on earth did that happen. Give me your explanation, because I certainly need one. If you want to stay up to date and see how this progresses, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. Fingers crossed TNS find form in the last 2 group stage games too. And this could be a very memorable season for Welsh football if they do. If you haven't already, you can find a new Welsh experiment, loads of other links and the Twitch channel up in the eye above. Come and follow us over there for regular live streams. And thank you so much as always for your incredible support. It really is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time, where for the 4th season in a row, we can wrap up Europe after Christmas. A massive achievement for Welsh football. And what a night that was at the racecourse. I'll see you next time.